fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Show here, and now, whenever we last left off, with this series, we had a few things going on for Midoriya. Now, what has happened for this boy, who has gained the power of the Infinity Gauntlet along with absorbing the Sentry? Now, Midoriya's power is on a whole nother level, and in the last part, we went over everything. Midoriya, he sent his son Max back to his own timeline, and he even did redo it, in order to give his son a life he would like. He did then bring back the mutant species, and the numbers are growing every single day. Thirdly, Genosha is back around, and Midoriya, he's proclaimed the king. Not by his own choice, but at this point he stopped caring. He's in a political marriage with Momo. He's also gotten with Polaris, and in the last part, he was spending time with Momo. As the two, they finally did kiss, and Midoriya, he did actually then fall backwards, going unconscious. Now, with that being said, we will pick up there, with Izuku Midoriya, roughly about a minute or two later. Midoriya, after this event has happened, he does go to sit back up, and he would discover that he's awake. However, his head is pounding, and it feels terrible. Now, you do actually then have him looking around, as everybody else around him is now unconscious. What the hell? What's happening? Now, Midoriya would get up and go to check and see if Momo is okay. As Midoriya, he would summon the Infinity Gauntlet from the pocket reality he's created, and put on the glove, as he would bring his hand up and open a portal to the X-Mansion, as he does take Momo back there. Now, as Midoriya is carrying Momo, with one arm, he is using his other hand to try and discover what's happening. As far as he can tell using the Mind Stone, something is going on within the Mindscape. There was a psychic backlash which took down a whole lot of people on Earth. And upon looking at it further, it does seem like the cosmic forces of reality are shifting. Now, this would be where Midoriya, he would actually feel something happening, as he does go to look outside. Now, as this does happen, Midoriya would see Hercules, and he would come walking outside and ask him exactly what's going on. I'm surprised you're awake. I know. Can you give me a rundown? Listen, I was trying to summon you, but I can't. Summon me. Yes. Reality's in danger. That's it? I can just use the gauntlet. No, you don't understand. This is bigger than that. Someone is here. And they won't stop until reality and everything we stand for is destroyed. Really? And what exactly is this threat? This threat, it's the Chaos King. As far as we're aware, things have already gone bad. And, well, we need to go check something. Now, Midoriya, he would actually go to bring his hand up and go to snap his finger. As he does snap his fingers, him and Zeus do disappear. as they're back with the rest of the Earth's heroes. Now, as they're both standing there, Hercules, he does talk about what's going on and explain who this threat is, as him, Midoriya, and Thor, along with many other different people or heroes who are considered gods, they all do go to leave, as they head to the realm of nightmares. Now, Midoriya was surprised about all this, as they do find that this nightmare realm, the man in control of it is dead. Along with that, you do also have where Midoriya, he does want to actually check the way things are going in the underworld. Apparently this Chaos King guy, he is going to exterminate all life in the multiverse. So, Midoriya would try and check on Hell. However, he does find that whenever he does look into this dimension, it's already been decimated and annihilated by the Chaos King, which did caught Midoriya off guard. This is no joke. Now, as Midoriya he does think this, he does look around the realm, and he does then feel something going to happen, as a portal would open, and out would step the Chaos King's forces, gods of multiple pantheons, Zeus, Ares, the god of war, and many others. Now, you do also have Thor, who, him and Beta Ray Bill, they did actually see that Hela is here, and Thor did go to rush and fight the goddess of death. As Hercules, he was going to take on Ares. And Zeus set his eyes on the most powerful being here, which was not his own son, as Zeus does go rushing towards Midoriya. Now, Midoriya was surprised, as the All-Father, or this man, he goes rocketing at Midoriya. Midoriya actually going to dodge out of the way as he does go to swing down with a weapon. And Midoriya he does just bring up his left hand and go to punch him as hard as he can with the Infinity Gauntlet across the face. Now, Zeus, Midoriya would have sent flying, as the man does go to wipe away his face with a busted lip. And Midoriya, he would watch as that's all that happened. He just broke Zeus's lip and that's it with a single punch. Now, Midoriya, he would go to bring up his hands and send a blast directly at Zeus. As Zeus, he does just go to bring his hands up and block the blast as he's walking towards Midoriya. Now, Midoriya does do one thing, as he does go to bring up his other hand and does go to amplify his powers with the Power Stone. As Zeus, he actually does go to dodge out of the way of this new blast. As Midoriya, whenever he did actually have this blast head out in that direction, he killed quite a few of the beings the Chaos King does have under his control. And the Chaos King, he would notice that a few of his godly forces were already killed, as he does go to pay attention to Midoriya. Now, Midoriya he does go to rush Zeus, as the two do get into a battle. Now, Midoriya, he and Zeus are going back and forth. Midoriya and him are going into a fist fight, and going blow for blow. Zeus is trying to summon the power of lightning, and all the magical powers he can manifest. As we do have Midoriya, who, he's channeling the power of the century in the void. And he's currently at least holding his own ground against this man, even whenever he does use the powers of the gauntlets. Now, Midoriya he also uses Cosmic Ring, and he would try to order Zeus to stand down. Now, this would have only temporarily stopped Zeus. As the moment Midoriya does go to bring his hands down, Zeus immediately would go back to trying to fight Midoriya. Now, we actually then do have Ares versus Hercules. These two are going blow for blow. And Hercules, he was able to actually take down Zeus. Or take down... Hercules was able to take down Ares. And then him and Midoriya did team up against Zeus. Now, this was quite intense. Midoriya and Zeus. Midoriya is simply a human. That's all the Chaos King does know. And he's fighting with the god of a pantheon. It's quite interesting what this young man can do. Now, he did want to make things more challenging. And things did get harder after Hela killed Beta Ray Bill. And she did then use Stormbreaker to amputate Thor. Now, that was quite insane. As we do then have Midoriya, who he does try to think about what he can do to even the numbers, or even make things fair. As he does bring up his hand and go to do something that he knows will be either stupid or risky. Now, Midoriya does summon the rest of the Earth's heroes, as they all do come rushing in, and try to fight alongside gods. Now, we do then actually have Midoriya, who he does rush in towards Hela, and he does want to do battle with this goddess of death. Now, Midoriya and Hela. Hela, she has heard rumor of this particular human, and how he's gained the power of the gauntlet. Now, she assumes that Midoriya has no idea how to use it. And whenever Midoriya and Hela do get close enough together, she does actually go to try and steal the gauntlet from Midoriya, trying to amputate his hands. However, the moment she does actually go to try and slice upwards, Midoriya he did just create Uru metal along his arm. And whenever she did actually go to smash into it, she was caught off guard. Whenever Midoriya he did then use electricity and fire it straight through the metal, conducting it and blasting her with it. Now, this was quite a surprise, as we do then have Midoriya. As Steve Rogers does come running up, and he would go to bend down and grab Mjolnir by its handle. And he does actually go to pick it up before charging in towards Hela and smashing her across the face with the hammer. Now, you do have Midoriya who was quite surprised, as Steve would just turn back to Midoriya. And he would just say that he's surprised that that worked. Huh? Wow. Roger, you're worthy? Yeah, I think so. It'd be kind of concerning if I wasn't. Now, Steve would just talk about how Midoriya is worthy too, isn't he? Yeah, you and Robert. Which one of you was it who lifted the hammer? Now, Hela does come charging back in. And she does actually go to rush towards Steve Rogers, as she does go to fire off some of these, well, weapons she can create. Them hitting the shield as Steve does have to duck behind it. Now, Midoriya he does himself rush in, as he does see Beta Ray Bill fighting for his life. Now, Midoriya, as he does come on with his left hand, he does go to bring it up. And he does create a portal in space, as Hela does look up at Midoriya, before her eyes themselves do widen, whenever Midoriya strikes her across the face and cuts off her head with Stormbreaker. Now, as her head was sent flying, you do have Steve Rogers, who he did look at Midoriya, as he does just look down at this war hammer. Haven't seen this thing since Sakar. Now, Midoriya go to turn in that direction and throw the hammer as hard as he can directly towards Beta Ray Bill, as the hammer gets sent flying and cutting through multiple different opponents. Now, Midoriya would just turn to Rogers, and Rogers would stare at Midoriya. That was Stormbreaker, not Mjolnir. That still didn't answer his question. Now, we do then have Midoriya, who he does just go back in, and the battle does rage on. Now, this is all quite intense, and you do actually then cut back to Hercules, who has taken down his father. He is screaming out in anger at the simple council of gods who have abandoned this reality. Now, Midoriya, he does actually go to hear something, as the Chaos King himself does show up, and he is headed after this council. Now, Midoriya would turn to Hercules and scream out that he's an idiot, as he does go to bring up his hand and go to try and turn back time. Now, as Midoriya attempts to try and turn back time on the Chaos King, it has no effect on him. And Midoriya, he does go flying in, as he does blast the Chaos King with nothing but pure power. And he does also try and change the Chaos King into something else using his reality bending power. Now, nothing is working, and Midoriya, he would just then go to throw up his left hand and wave it in front of the Council of Gods, as they all do disappear. Now, you do actually have the Chaos King who does turn back and look at Midoriya, as he does scream out, "No!" Now, Midoriya then go to look back at Hercules, and scream at him that if he does do that again, the Chaos King will get even more powerful. Now, Hercules does look up, as he does still have his father in his arms. Now, Midoriya would scream at Hercules that he's a god, is he not? Now, Hercules would just look at Midoriya, as he doesn't have rage get on his face, and he does then go to stand. Now, Midoriya and the remaining heroes that are all there, they've been severely reduced in numbers. At this point, it's only Midoriya and a few gods remaining. The amount of time that has passed in this simple dimension, it feels longer than it's really been. And Midoriya, he does look around, as he does see the body of Steve Rogers holding Mjolnir. And he does actually just go to step forwards, telling the Chaos King that he's a human, however he's a mutant, as he does go to just bring up both of his hands. Now, the Chaos King does laugh at Midoriya, asking him if he has given up. Now, this is whenever Stormbreaker does come to the Midoriya's call in his left hand. And Midoriya, he does then have Mjolnir in his right hand. As you do have Hercules, who does just ask, how is that possible? And you do have Midoriya, who does turn to Hercules and tell him that he is the impossible. As Midoriya, he does go to summon forth as much power as he can, as his eyes do begin to glow with energy and lightning. Now, Midoriya, he does go to rush towards the Chaos King, as Hercules, in his new godly power, he does actually go headed forwards towards him. Now, with that being said, we do have Midoriya and Hercules going up against a god of chaos. Now, as this is happening, we do actually have the remaining gods who do stand there. And they are all wondering if the Chaos King can really even be taken down. He is an aspect of oblivion, and a part of eternity. If they kill him, they are basically killing eternity. And that will lead to massive repercussions for everything. Now, with that being said, I do believe that this is a good point to leave this off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.